Hello everyone, welcome to Topper IS. So as part of our daily series, today also we will look into few of the important news that was part of your Hindu as well as taken from PIB. Okay, so let's get started then. So the first one is with respect to a basic thing taken from PIB because COVID pandemic has been in news and there are now, if you are going through the newspaper, there is talks about how to manage third wave if it occurs. So a few things related to why do the new waves happen. So COVID pandemic first wave, second wave almost coming to end. Then we might also face third wave also. So thing is, there are countries where even second wave has not occurred yet. Okay, but you see, in India, we are always already talking about possible third wave impact. So why do these kind of waves repeat or occur? There have been four major elements regarding to the leading to formation of a new wave. So the first one is with respect to behavior of the virus. So the virus has the capacity and ability to spread. So that is one of the reason for the coming of new waves and susceptible host. So virus keeps looking for those kind of host which are susceptible so that it can in fact infect them and survive there. So if you are not protected either through vaccination or by previous infection, then we become the susceptible host. So that will also be leading to another wave. So third reason for the new waves is transmissibility. So virus can become smart enough where it mutates. So moment it mutates, it becomes more transmissible. So the same virus which used to infect three hosts now is capable of infecting almost 13. So this factor, the 13 factor is also unpredictable. Okay, so no one can pre-plan to fight such mutations. So we don't know what kind of mutation it goes through and what kind of to what extent the mutated virus can infect the people. So the change of the very nature of the virus and its transmissibility is an X factor. So what kind of people, like we said, 3 to 13. So no one can predict when and where it may happen. So this is also a reason for a new waves appearance. Then opportunities, meaning which we give to the virus to infect. We sit together, we eat together, we go to crowded places, we also sit in closed areas without wearing masks. So these all kind of behavior gives virus an opportunities to spread also. And new waves, so these are the four main factors, like as we discussed. The first one is with respect to behavior of the virus, it has ability to spread. Then susceptible host, as long as we are not protected either by vaccination or previous infection, we are susceptible. Then transmissibility, the mutation occurs and mutation helps in the transmissibility of the virus. Then opportunities, so the behavior that we follow also gives opportunity for virus to infect. So these are the four main reasons why new waves occur. So new waves can be controlled or even avoided by following COVID appropriate behaviors and taking measures such as vaccination. So that is why there is a stress on vaccinating the people as much as possible, as early as possible. Okay. So this was the news. Then second one is with respect to GM trees, GM rubber. So the world's first GM rubber sapling was planted in Assam. Okay, so the plant was developed at the Kerala-based Rubber Research Institute of India. So genetically modified rubber plant. This is particularly tailored for climatic conditions in the northeast. So we know genetically modified crops or the genetically modified trees. So there is a altering of the DNA material by inserting or removing the genes. So that particular gene will help beta crops or trees to have greater resistance to climatic conditions and all. So even here a GM rubber has additional copies of gene MnSOD, meaning manganese containing superoxide dimutase. Okay, so these genes help the plant to tide over the severe cold conditions during winter. This because the cold condition in the northeast region was the main factor, affecting the growth of young rubber plants in this region. So by genetically modifying the rubber plant, by having additional copies of particular gene, you are able to make it resistance, withstand higher, lower temperature conditions in the northeastern region. So naturally rubber is native of warm humid Amazon forest and not naturally suited for the colder conditions in the northeast. So you are going to overcome such a situation by genetically modifying the plant. So static part you can also link in environmental issues, GM trees, okay, and you can also link it to GM crops. So what are all the debates surrounding these two things can also be highlighted. Means that covers a prelim mains point of view. For prelims, know the facts related to GM rubber sapling planted in Assam and the gene that is in use developed by Rubber Research Institute of India. So these facts you should know. And again, with respect to COVID, a Delta plus is a variant of concern according to the government of India. So center termed emerging Delta plus a variant of concern. Variant of why it is of concern. A virus variant becomes a concern because it has highest threat perception because as it is characterized by increasing infectivity, transmissibility, or resistance to even vaccines and treatment. So that makes it highly threatening. So that is why we refer it as a variant of concern according to the government. And World Health Organization has already classified a variant of Delta like AY.1, AY.2 as variant of concern. So this is Delta representation, variance mutation. So there are, as of now, 4 international variant of concern: alpha, beta, gamma, delta. So all are mutated. So as of now, Indian government said delta plus is a variant of concern in India because of high threat perception that it poses to the people. Then the one news related to United Nations Human Rights Council. At the meeting, a statement was issued related regarding grave concerns raised over Xinjiang province in China. Okay, more than 40 countries, particularly led by Canada, voiced grave concerns at the UN Human Rights Council about China's actions in Xinjiang, Hong Kong, and Tibet. You know the protests going on in Hong Kong and Tibetan issue, as well as Xinjiang, Uyghur, Muslims, and minorities over there. So what the statement said is, Beijing must allow UN rights chief and other independent observers immediate, meaningful, and unfettered access to Xinjiang and end the arbitrary detention of Uyghurs and other Muslim minorities in this region. So there is allegation of detention, and there are credible reports, indicating n number of atrocities that have been done to the people. Like over a million of people have been arbitrarily detained in Xinjiang. There is also widespread surveillance, disproportionately targeting Uyghurs and members of other minorities, and instances of torture, inhuman and degrading treatment, punishment, forced sterilization, sexual and gender-based violence, even forcing the separation of children from their parents. So n number of atrocities. So there are credible reports of this. So that is why the statement has been raised, made, like grave concerns over China's actions in Xinjiang province. And other factual stuff you should remember is United Nations Human Rights Council. It is an intergovernmental body within the United Nations system. So obviously, what is the function of it? So the function is to strengthening the promotion and protection of human rights across the globe, okay, and for addressing the situations of human rights violations, make recommendations of such violations, and it has the ability to discuss all thematic human rights issues and situations that require its attention throughout the year. So to fulfill this function only, the statement was used by the issued by the council, okay, and it meets at the UN office at Geneva, uh, and council is made up of around 47 United Nations member states which are elected by United Nations General Assembly. So remember, a UN body which is a front runner in protecting and promoting human rights across the globe. So that's it for today. You can also download the PDF of this document in the link that is shared below. Thank you.